So you're looking to lose that stubborn belly fat, but the idea of giving up all that amazing Indian food just sounds impossible, right? Well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to break down how you can build a healthier you using all the spices, flavors, and ingredients that you already know and love.
I mean, let's be real. Who actually wants to live on boiled chicken and sad, bland vegetables? The thought alone is just depressing. It's not sustainable, and honestly, it's no way to live.
And here's the best part. You absolutely don't have to. There is a much, much better way to get fit, and it involves embracing the food you grew up eating.
Okay, let's dive into our first big idea. You have to stop with the extreme diets. Why? Because you're not a competitive bodybuilder getting ready for a show. Our goals are totally different, so our approach should be too. We don't need to be cutting out every last bit of salt and spice.
Look, unless you're getting paid millions for a movie role that requires you to look super dry on camera, you just don't need that level of restriction. Your goal is something way more important, building a healthy lifestyle that you can actually stick with for the long haul.
So, if we're skipping the crazy diets, then what should we be eating? Well, that brings us to principle number 2, building a healthy plate with food from your very own kitchen. Let's break down what that looks like.
First up, let's talk carbs. Please forget the idea that you have to cut them out completely. Foods like rice, roti, dals, even potatoes, these are fantastic sources of energy. Our bodies have been running on this kind of fuel since we were kids, so there is absolutely no reason to suddenly switch to something weird and unfamiliar.
Next, protein power. If you're non-vegetarian, you've got awesome options like chicken, eggs, and fish. And for all my vegetarian friends, you've got paneer, soya, dals, milk, curd, the list goes on. But here's the real secret. Don't you dare be afraid of spices. Onion, garlic, ginger, go crazy with them for flavor. The real culprit hiding in plain sight? It's the excess oil. Try to stick to about 1 tablespoon for the whole day.
And of course, we can't forget healthy fats. They're so important for things like hormone regulation and absorbing vitamins. And the best part? You can get them from simple, affordable stuff you probably have at home right now, like ghee, almonds, walnuts, and even peanuts.
And this really gets to the heart of it. You do not need to be buying expensive, trendy superfoods if they're not in your budget. Once food is inside you, your body breaks it down into nutrients. It just needs fatty acids. It literally has no idea whether they came from a fancy imported avocado or a humble peanut.
All right, our third principle is all about what to remove. This is where so many of us, without even realizing it, sabotage all our hard work. It's time to find and cut out those extra foods, those hidden calorie bombs that give us almost zero nutritional value.
Just take a look at this. That little bit of ketchup, that just one piece of gulab jamun, the sugar you stir into your tea, it all adds up, and fast. A single serving of these extras can pack a shocking number of calories. Stick to real home-cooked meals. They're more filling, they have more volume, and you get to control exactly what's in them.
Okay, that brings us to our fourth pillar, and it builds right on top of the last one. We've talked about what to eat, but now we need to talk about how much. You know, knowing your personal limit is probably the most critical piece of the fat loss puzzle. And it all comes down to one simple concept: a calorie deficit. Everything you eat is energy, and we measure that in calories. Your stored body fat is just stored energy. So to lose that fat, you simply have to burn more energy than you take in. That's it. That's the secret.
Now you might be thinking, ugh, this sounds complicated. But it's really not. This isn't rocket science. It's just self-knowledge. Take a little time to calculate your maintenance calories. That's how much you need to eat to stay the same weight. Then, just for a little while, track what you eat using an app. I promise, this will teach you so much about portion sizes. Eventually, you won't even need the app anymore.
And finally, our fifth pillar. This is the one that ties everything together. You can have the perfect diet, but without exercise, you're just not going to get the results you really want. It's time to make movement a non-negotiable part of your life.
I want you to just remember this one number. 2. Because there are 2 essential pieces that have to work together. Think of it like this. Your diet and your exercise plan are the 2 wheels of a motorcycle. If you only have one wheel, you're not going anywhere, are you? You absolutely need both of them, working together to actually move forward, build strength, and burn fat effectively.
So what does a good plan actually look like? Well, aim for about 4 to 5 workouts a week. Spend a good 40 to 50 minutes on resistance training, lifting weights.
Building muscle is so important because it revs up your metabolism, which means you burn more calories all day long even when you're resting. Then, after your weights, just add 15 minutes of steady cardio. That 1-2 punch is incredibly effective.
And I want to leave you with this final thought. So many people quit after a month or two because they're looking for a quick fix. This isn't that. This is a lifestyle change. You have to give yourself at least 5 or 6 months. Be patient. Be consistent, and please try to enjoy the process of getting stronger and healthier. That is how you get results that actually last a lifetime.